Namaste, namaskaram, vanakkam, namo namaha, jai Ganesha. Please visit our website at classicalyoga.org, and there is a donate button if you'd like to help us out. And please stand up for the Hindu yoga dharma. Today's podcast, adharma, and disrespect and abandonment, the fourth nasty da. In the Hindu yoga dharma, we have basically three sampradayas: Saivites, Vaishnavites, Shaktites, the three sects. The Saiva Hindus wear the tripundra, the three horizontal stripes of vibhuti. Vibhuti, of course, comes from the purified cow dung. So look what we're literally doing. We're taking the BS in our life, burning it up, and creating the holy ash of vibhuti. And significantly, we're striving to burn up the three things that are often called the triple filth, if you will: greed, anger, and lust. Lobha, krodha, kama. A little reflection shows us that when all of us, if we're honest, when we feel greedy and angry and lusty, which is excessive desire for anything, sex, money, power, food, we feel uneasy at best. Hopefully, if we have any conscience at all. So note, we put on this vibhuti every day, reminding us that we may get a little greedy, a little angry, a little lusty during the day, and we try to burn that off, because like the burning off of clouds during the day, which reveals the sun which was always there, when we remove these thick clouds of lobha, krodha, kama, greed, anger, and lust, it opens the way to the atmana, which is always there, just covered up. The atmana of love and light and energy, or sat chit ananda, pure existence, pure consciousness, pure energy, light energy, heat energy, which becomes the human feeling of warmth or bliss or ananda. Sat chit ananda. Jyoti, Shakti, Ananda, Shanti, or love, light, and energy. So how do we do this? Well, there's a classic story in the Brihadaranyaka titled What the Thunder Says. And if you think for a moment about the rolling or the rumbling of the thunder, you could kind of think of it as a da sound. Darrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrr the three things that can help eradicate greed, anger, lust, lobha, krodha, kama. So the way the story goes, and it's told differently, but let's look at it from the point of view of Shiva. And he has a few shishyas or disciples around him. And so they're asking Mahadev Shiva, how do I get rid of greed, lobha? And he simply says, da. And they have to figure it out. So in their minds, they're going over different Sanskrit words that start with da, da. Finally, they come up with the conclusion, dana, yes, giving. The way to eradicate or overcome greed is to be more giving, dana. Then they said, oh, Guruji, now teach us more. Teach us how to get rid of krodha, anger. And he says, da, again. Now they have to think. It's another word, da. How do we get rid of anger? Dayadvam, which is another word for karuna or compassion. So we get rid of anger through compassion. Finally, they ask Mahadev, how do we get rid of lust, excessive desire? And again, of course, you know the drill. He says, da. And they have to think again. Damyata. Damyata is similar to yama, which is restraint. Damyata is control. Learn to control oneself. So here in this rolling of the thunder, we have the three das. The way to eradicate or control greed, lobha, is through dana or giving. The way to eradicate or control anger, krodha, is by dayadvam, compassion, karuna. The way to overcome lust, excessive desire, is damyata, restraint or control. Da, da, da. Often when people sing and they're not really using a lyric, they use a syllable, like da 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 da, da 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 da, da 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 da. Dana, dayadvam, damyata, the three positive das. Be giving, be compassionate, be controlled. This is dharma. Remember, this is our Sanskrit, Tamil, Hindu word. from dri, to hold, understanding what holds us together as individuals, families, societies. This is dharma. Of course, there is also the opposite, adharma. In other words, breaking apart. Now, if we look at religio also, as to link or to bind, the non-religious person would be one who is not trying to do this bonding or linking process. So that would be a religion. So dharma is seeking to hold. Adharma is either not understanding what holds things together or consciously breaking things apart. This is adharma, doing the wrong thing. In other words, being greedy and angry and lusty, lobha, krodha, kama, being full of fears, excessive desires, arrogance, pridefulness, hard egoism, ignorance, which is different than lack of knowledge. Ignorance is a conscious choice to ignore something or someone. So let's look at an unwholesome using English here. Disrespect and abandonment. Disrespect is the antithesis of all the re words in English. The re words are connecting words. Religio, religion, relationships, remember, reinstate, reinvent. These are positive linking words. The opposite is to diss someone, to disrespect someone. Disingenuous, disconcerting. So in the Hindu culture, we always try to exercise respect for our fellow human beings. This is why we say namaste. Because even though outwardly we may do some things that are less than ethical, inwardly we realize that we're all that inner divinity of the Atmana. So we're respecting that inner divinity, but never denying the outer confusions, the outer unethical behavior. So truly, we don't want to disrespect another human being, and certainly not our elders. This is why Hindus traditionally bow to the feet of their elders. It's a sign of humility, a sign of respect for somebody who's older, who's obviously lived a lot longer, and therefore has gone through more experiences, good and bad, more joy and more suffering. We have to respect this. And if we're honest, we've all been disrespectful at times through life. And therefore, as the law of karma goes, we are also going to be suffering from the other end of that. We will be disrespected. And along with disrespect often comes abandonment, when we simply just, as people would say, ghost people today. We just run away. Remember, a bully does both things. They bully and then they're also a coward on the other extreme, and they run away. When the opportunity presents itself, they're super aggressive, they're bullies. And then obviously when they're confronted with something that they can't handle, then they just run away and become a coward. This is the extreme of the bully-coward syndrome. So often we simply, because we can't face a situation, we just run away from it. We abandon people. And we have to think and consider how hurtful that is. And we may not truly realize just how hurtful that abandonment is until it happens to us. And again, if we're honest, we've all probably done that at least once or twice in our life. Some people seem to make a habit of it. Just abandoning commitments, abandoning other people without any explanation, no word whatsoever, just walking away. Very cowardly. Psychologists often speak of abandonment issues, and truly, if we have been abandoned, there's a good chance that we're going to do the same thing to other people. There's a point where we have to say enough is enough and cease this unhealthy, negative karmic spin. Now, of course, with really bad situations, bad people, there's nothing wrong with just getting the heck out of there. When somebody is being abusive towards us, that's not really abandonment. That's just a wise judgment of knowing when to just get out of that situation. However, in other instances when, again, we just simply can't face certain situations and we just run away from people, that kind of abandonment is confusing and obviously extremely hurtful. It's not the soul that's hurt, but certainly the emotions get hurt, the mind gets hurt as we continue to think about the situation. So think for a moment, and this is why certainly for me, when I watch these commercials where these animals have been abandoned, it's very difficult. I don't like to watch them. I'm sure most of you don't either. Because these are innocent little beings that have no clue why people have just left them, abandoned them, with no explanation whatsoever. It's very hurtful, and you can see the hurt in their eyes, in their face, in their countenance. Abandoning someone through our own inner misunderstandings, confusions, fears perhaps, leaves an open wound, and it remains open until an apology is forthcoming. Apologies, forgiveness, this is another essential part of religion, forgiveness. In English it's called atonement. We atone for bad behavior. We ask for forgiveness. And it's a beautiful word because if you actually look at the word atonement, once we atone or ask for forgiveness, saying we're sorry, look what happens. We again achieve the state of at-one-ment, atonement. So it's never too late to rectify past disrespects and abandonments as we all go on this eternal journey to Atma Darshana, realizing our inner essence of Satchidananda, love, light, and energy, seeking to go beyond the trivial and very hurtful experiences of lobha, krodha, kama, madha, moha, abhimana, avidya, asmita, raga, dvesha, binivesa, greed, anger, lust, pridefulness, delusions, fears, ignorance, egoism, extreme likes and dislikes. This is supposed to be what religion is all about in general. Relinking, rebinding, getting our act together, physically, mentally, emotionally, and soulfully. This certainly is the meaning for mature Hindus of dharma, being held together as an individual, realizing our body, mind, emotions, and atmana, as a family, and as the Hindu family. Remember, Hindus, we are a Hindu family, Saiva, Vaishnava, Shakti, the three. So let us live in harmony and follow the dharma and plant your yoga tree. This is our Hindu lifestyle. Karma, bhakti, raja, jnani. This is Hindu dharma. Om Shanti. Shanti, Shanti.